childish in that area, where, you know, if it doesn't work out with him, oh, I know he was playing me, oh, I know he was doing this, this, and this, and it's, you know, that's not mature. That's very detrimental to someone else, and you could ruin something better for him because you chose not to allow him to move on in life. So always be mature to the fact that, you know, and that goes for friendships as well. You know, if it doesn't work out, it just doesn't work out. That's fine. Some people are in our life for a season. You have to know what those seasons are.
Seasonal people, that's real good. But yeah, that's just a nugget for someone looking for someone or waiting for someone. Try to avoid people from your same environment. You know, most of the time it generally does not work out well.
That's right.
And now there's a strain, especially when you're on the same ministry, good God, or have to work in the choir or whatever, the praise team, you know, and then let's just say it's not that bad. You know, let's just say your ex is cool and you're cool, but your spouse might have. It might make them uneasy. You know, Jill might have moved on, but Susan, every time Jill says hello, Susan's right there. What you saying hey for? You know? You know, imagining things, back to what I said earlier, you're making something out of nothing. You know, Jill don't want your man, Susan, but Susan thinks because they had a past that there's something there. 7 minutes to ask questions. Okay, all right. Now let's fast forward. You're married now. After the big wedding day, being engaged is when you discuss how your marriage is going to play out. Are you going to stay home? Are you going to work? When are we going to have children? You know, and I think we did relatively good because we said we wanted to wait, and we waited, and baby Shannon came around the time frame we expected her. You know, she wasn't an accident. You know, and so 80%, I saw this crazy fact, but 80% of children are accidents, which is terrible. But anyway, we planned and we talked about that, and in being engaged, that's what you do. When are we going to have children? How are we going to deal with this? You know, financial wise, sexual wise, emotionally wise, things like that. Now that you're married, okay, life circumstances will hit you when you least expect it.
Yes, sir.
All right? Every day, from the point you say I do, you know, beyond that, it's going to be a roller coaster. God knows, because now you moved in together, and now you formed your ministry. Now you've made this pact and you've made this vow in front of people, not only in front of people, but in front of God. And most importantly, not in front of God, but in front of the devil.
Yeah.
We forget about him.
Right.
We leave him out because just as God is there on that day, Satan is there too. Till death do you part, huh?
Right.
Sickness, hell, rich or poor. Let's see what happened next month when Johnny get fired.
Right. Wow.
You know, and you lose everything. You know, my wife and I have been on a roller coaster. And if you're not, I'm talking like Superman roller coaster. Like if you're not connected with the right person, then the right person won't know the right things to say when you're going through the wrong trial.
That's good.
You know, you have to be connected to the right person so they can know how to treat you, know how to, you know, when if your husband loses your job, as a woman, don't make him feel less of a man. You know, because you have to, you know, and like I said, knowing your role biblically as a husband and knowing how to provide for your family and your wife, and then just so happen you're not able to do that, you still feel like a man because your wife makes you feel like that man. You know, when you go out to eat, we ain't got no money anyway. You know, what you ordering that for? You know, as a husband and a wife, you communicate, and you know, she's there with you. Like, hey, we're gonna eat an appetizer and some water, and we're gonna grin in front of everybody and have a good time.
That's right. That's right.
You know, in Ephesians, Paul says, treat your wives as Christ treated the church. Okay. Now, how I treat my wife is an indication of how I love God. And how I love God should be an indication of how I love my wife. And vice versa. All right. Now, I made this statement. If your husband or your wife cheats on God, they'll cheat on each other. And I said that by saying, if your husband does not pay tithes, or your wife does not pay tithes like they should, or they're not faithful to God like they should, then what makes you think they're going to be faithful to someone lesser than God? Their relationship with God, my relationship with God, is going to be indicative of my relationship with my wife. If I'm gung-ho about serving God, then I'm going to be gung-ho about pleasing my wife.
That's right.
I can't get with people who will preach the roof off of a church, but don't even treat their wife right.
Yeah.
Make it plain.